Douil. And it's
Illusioned maybe or something. I don't know.
delusional?
Delusional.
Oh my God, look at me. I did a thing.
Oh,
All
you
right.
did a thing. And on that note, we're going to cut over to Rob Robinsky and Becky Dyer for round number 2. Folks might remember Rob and myself had a showdown in the last round of this tournament last year. And Rob took that down a month later at one of the other best tournaments. Rob and I played for first place at Hood River, and Rob also took me down in that tournament because I could not pull the trigger on the word video gamer, except it turns out video gamer is not a word.
Welcome to the stream, Becky. JQ, your first 2 tiles on your rack. Have fun with that.
And pretty good letters to go with it.
Actually,
Honestly.
that's a great little bailout
So,
of what could
yeah.
have been a terrible situation for her. Oh, this will be a fun turn for Becky for sure. Becky is someone who is really freaking solid. She wrecks me when we play our Central Texas, our Austin tournaments. And Becky didn't study any English. She wouldn't even play Scrabble in English because for a year she knew she had a trip to Germany coming up. She studied Scrabble exclusively in German, despite not having much fluency in the language, and went there and won 4 games.
Yeah.
Which is like, wow, had her own little Nigel moment. Don't even speak a language and then come and beat people in Scrabble in that language. So that's a fun little Becky tidbit. But now she's back playing in English again, not tying a hand behind her back, and she has just been running me over. So I'm excited to watch her play on stream here. So she's got a really tough rack. Do you play JA here? Do you look to play off the queue with an Aqua?
Oh, JA is. I really like JA.
Yeah. That's a German word too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah is a good play. And Becky also just like a crucial person in the Collins Coalition or the COCO, who is co-running this tournament alongside the Word Game Players organization. So
Yeah, she does a lot of hard work for that organization, makes things run way smoother. Thank you for all you do for the game, Becky.
Yeah.
And she's off to the races. 30 points for Aquay. She elects to play the Q and not the J. I think both are totally reasonable things to do in that situation.
Yeah.
Could have been really cool. She could have hit a 90-point bingo, but that rack could also go south, especially if she draws an O like that. So really, in hindsight, knowing the first tile out of the bag, maybe made the right decision here. And Rob Robinsky looks to respond BDDEILY. No bingos available and no plays that score more than 26 points. So we'll see what he's able to do. Quackle's thrown out BLUDY through that U. Maybe you can play a little bit longer with something like Beadily, BEADILY. Do you see any options that jump out to you as like, this is awesome?
Well, I see BEDYDE.
Be died.
Which BDI has all sorts of weird past tenses. I think Becky probably knows that, but you could try to do that for the extra 5. I don't know if that play is best on its own, but because you're not keeping an E, you might want to keep an E here. It's kind of why maybe bloody or something. But I think, I don't know. B died is certainly fun.
BEDYDE. That's an awesome one. The anagram of BEDYED. But that's a neat one. 26 points.
I think BEDIDE might also be good, maybe. I don't know. There's some weird ones there. It's true. She should know all the DYE words, and that did actually. Rob's first 3 tiles on his rack before were DYE, and I was hoping that his 4th tile would be an R, but
and he's got the B for he got the B for Becky too. So basically just spell her name against her.
Yeah. Oh, I see the BE coming. We're gonna see BEDY.
DE. Yeah. Little flex for the stream. All right. And
you will probably know it.
I didn't even see her hold. So she's accepted the play. Becky's a machine. She knows a lot of words. She's been again just tearing me up over the board. So not even a flinch from Becky, and she's going to look to respond now. AEEFJOS on her rack. Can she cash the J this turn, or will she play off this F? That FY spot is enticing.
FOE seems pretty nice. I was wondering if there's a way to set up maybe like. There's no oaf or something. There's no way to really set up the J, I don't think, to make joy J. I don't think.
Yeah, OAF would set up JOY, but that doesn't give you anything else. You're not going to be able to stack anything. You'll just plunk the J for 29, and that's not worth the sacrifice, I think. FOE Or if you want to strengthen the S, you could consider playing Jade, Jade, through that second D.
Mhm.
I hate Fs and I hate Os,
F. F's
and
in chat.
yeah,
Press
I don't
F to pay respect to Matt Canik's hatred of F's.
I don't want any Fs in chat or on my rack. It's one of my least favorite tiles in the entire game. I
What
hate
if you
it
have
more
two
than most
F's?
people. I like two
Okay.
Fs as long as they come in pairs. Right, give me an F. That's okay.
I
But
think I think one F to two F's is one of the like of all two-letter combinations, like other than QU. It's one of the biggest changes in like how the value of the F goes up. I think so much when you have the second one.
the F is the only tile that has positive synergy with itself in the game.
Yeah,
No other tile does that except the F. Having two Fs better than one F.
yeah.
Positive synergy.
But it's true. If we had no F's, then it would be David Erstman. I prefer the F to the W, no question.
Oh, I prefer the F to the W. Just in terms of where Quackle values these tiles, me personally, I'm always playing off the F like
Yeah,
more frequently than it recommends. Becky does the right thing here. FOE is a very
yeah.
solid play. We'll see. She's sat on that J now 2 turns. Can she finally cash it in?
Mhm.
These tiles are going to help her do that. Jape, Java available.
Yeah,
She'll
Java.
have some options. And Rob, ACGHILR, almost oligarch or something fun, but no bingos for him. And I think we're going to see GHI, and we'll see this board be dyed.
Yeah, like literally.
But I'm here for closed boards. Let's see what happens. GHI, I think, has to be the move here. Maybe you play Lig in the same spot or CHI, but the G is just such a clunky tile. I mean, is there any reason not to play GHI?
No, it seems great. I'm here for it. I love me to increasingly close off the board, and you know that kind of leaves the remaining bingo lanes as needing an S or that next to the B, which is guaranteed to open up some hot spots for me. So I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I think GHI is a good move here. Lig would hold ACHR, which like okay, the CH synergy is pretty solid as well.
So it's funny that I was about to say as I look up, that's not a word.
Whoa,
He played Chig. And Chig is I had to look it up on my phone. I'm like, I think that's one of those ones I can't remember, but I don't think that's a word.
he's drawing.
I also
He's not
may
on
I
hold.
also may have played that. So Becky's word knowledge, I will say she trends more towards the longer words.
Yes, definitely.
But I would not have expected Rob to play that.
So who says you can't phony in 5 point challenge? Rob
Oh,
dropping a
I do.
phony 4 on the stream,
I do
and
it all the time.
it is accepted, and he's going to be rewarded with a blank and Rorstol or whatever that word is.
Rostrol, yeah.
Rostral, whatever. Yeah,
So I mean, obviously it's a way better play, and part of why I was silent, admittedly, was because I was checking if it had been taken out. Like, was it a bad word or something? But no, I think it was. I think it's just on my list of phony fours I love to play. I'm glad to see him
uh,
not alone.
Shiggers are bugs I have far
Right.
too much experience
Yeah.
with, playing at the ranch as a kid, man. When
Mhm.
you got them bad, but you
Yeah.
can't just chig.
Yeah.
So we all learned something new today,
Yep.
unless you already knew that, in which case, kudos to you. Why aren't you here this weekend?
Yeah. It's so hard to pronounce Dungy. I don't know if it's okay for me to just dox Dungy. It would be a lot easier. But D2 Google Chig and it says that it means to chew. So you can do it and just not in Scrabble. And yes, Sidewinder notes possibly mixing it up with Chog, which do you know the definition of Chog?
Nope.
You should look it up and then tell the chat what Chog means.
I will do that later. I'm going to focus on this really interesting turn in front of us. Becky can play Java and JEE. Clearly, from an equity perspective, that's the thing to do, but it throws an A in a triple triple line. So I was going to
Yeah,
ask, would you do it or would you keep things tight? And it looks like she's playing jab, holding paves, setting up paves, and jabs next turn.
yeah. I think that's a nice play because yeah, paves, vapes, whatever. You're getting that down a lot.
And Rob now will, man, that ALRST blank, and then that last R was a killer. He has
Yeah.
just the one playable bingo. Rostral is 63 points playing with LAH.
Yeah.
You just got a
And
bingo
oh,
here,
and
though, right?
look at Becky's draw. That is just perfect.
Whoa, yeah. Pavis's is going to be a million
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez. So she held AEPSV, thinking that's going to lead me somewhere good, and it
Yeah.
actually leads her somewhere awesome.
Amazing. Yeah.
Pavises and Spavies
Yeah.
and
There's a bunch of them, yeah.
So Rob's going to get a sad 63 pointer with the blank, and Becky's going to crush him back for 90.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be funny if passive making foes and B-Dides noted by Muffin with Tentacle. Uh-oh.
Besides, yeah, I don't think we'll see Becky play that. She's too smart.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna giggle if not. So remember Chog?
That's what I was doing. Oh, wrong lexicon.
Oh, no. Okay, well,
That's probably good. Oh, hang on. I have Collins as of a. There we go.
there you go. Oh, it means something else. They took out the, um, well, I'll let someone in chat
Yeah,
explain what, I don't know why they took out the real meaning of Chog, but, I'll give you a hint. It is rather a phallic word in the stubby sense.
oh, excellent. Usually we put a DE at the end of that instead.
So Becky, unsurprisingly, has Pavis's spelled out.
Yeah, she's not going to miss that.
Yeah.
She's a
Yeah.
word machine,
Yeah.
and Rob's going to have to hold his breath and play the one bingo
Yeah.
that he's got. Sad, he'd like to do something better with these goodies, but
Yeah.
it's not in the cards for him. So Rostrel after the phony, 63 points.
Yeah.
And Becky, passive, Spavies, Pavises. She'll play one of those probably.
Spaviate is one of my when I first started playing, it was one of my favorite words because it's such a weird word to be an adjective. Like, why? It means
Spaviate.
having it's a horse disease or something.
Having Spavies.
Yeah, I don't know what language that is. It sounds German, or Germanic of some sort. I don't know.
Ask Becky, she'll know.
I was gonna say Becky would know.
Okay. So Rostrel comes down. Becky's got Pavises set up. That's going to play with jabs for 90. I don't think there's much more to think about. Look at her. Just do her paperwork real quick. Make sure you do all your
Yeah.
tracking and all that. You can't get
You can
excited.
tell
on this
but you can
bingo.
see she's got that yeah. You can tell she's happy. She's like, this is gonna be a good turn.
Yeah. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
It's like you love playing stuff like
Yeah.
Pavises on the stream. It just makes you feel like,
Yeah.
man, I'm good at this game.
Yeah.
And Becky is really freaking good
Yeah.
at this game.
Yeah.
So. Oh man, Rob's pulled an interesting rack.
I've played a phony bingo with that rack before. I played Ramekin. I got away with it.
That's horrible.
I know,
You're the worst.
I know.
You're the worst.
A long time ago. It was my 21st birthday tournament.
All right. So assuming Pavises comes down, that's going to give a lot of counter plays for Rob. High scoring plays out of that rack.
I was thinking about Spavies. That's a lot riskier to throw the S out there, but I guess if you're not 100% sure of Pavises, I mean, are a bunch of spellings of it. You can't really go wrong with that word with your spellings.
Yeah, Pavisse is also good. Man, how many bingos? There's 4 bingos.
She's
passives.
Passives.
She's going to play passives. Okay, maybe she just doesn't want to expose that triple in this position. I'm not. There's probably some rationale here.
She almost gave Rob a bingo, right? Is mini park a word? That sounds like a word.
Let me get all my paperwork in order real quick. I already had Becky playing Pavises for 90, and now she's playing passives instead. So
one thing I do know about Becky is she can get a little paranoid about not wanting to open the board and stuff, and so she will make some sacrifices.
Yeah, I've had a lot of just tight boards with her. She thrives on those.
Yeah.
But interesting that jab spot got opened up, and then 3 of the 4 S's got played not there. That last S, I think, is going to be huge in this game.
Rob is probably confused right now because he's like, why would you play jab and then not?
He's so confused that he's going to challenge and make this worth 85 instead of 80.
Yeah.
Big flex from Becky, knowing passive takes the S like that.
Yeah.
And being confident to pass up other bingos to shape the board the way you want.
Yeah. Too bad there's no passivist.
Well, maybe there will be.
Maybe there will be. It's true.
That'd be fun. Someone's got to try it later on in this game, right?
I mean, if it comes down to it, yeah.
Why not? Okay, so extra 5 points for Becky. That'll put her up 166 to 1 23, and it is Rob's turn now to figure out what to do. Mini Park is good, but that P just one space away from where it needs to be.
Imagine if Pavasis had given Mini Parks a triple
Oh my
triple.
goodness, yeah, Becky would never open a board again in her life, but Rob's going to have KAIM making PI and AM. Thanks to the Atom for pointing that out in chat. I think that's probably going to be a pretty standard play here, but maybe Peaky, PIKI at the bottom instead. Wow, Becky has found once again 2 clunkers at the same time, ZX and 3 Is. This will be just some interesting navigation for Becky working out of these racks.
Yeah. I mean, right now there is a great X spot. I mean, Nyx is fantastic for how bad this rack is, because putting an N there, setting up your Z,
Yeah,
killing the top left, like I love that. But
but I don't think that's going to stay available. Rob's almost definitely going to play
I
KAIM.
assume so. Yeah, I can't imagine he wouldn't. But he decides to. No, the game's still pretty close. I mean, he did just bingo, but
Yeah, KAIM puts him down by 11. Like it's so early in this game. There's a huge S spot available. Just I don't know, I'm looking to turn over tiles and draw that S for the rest of this game probably.
yeah.
Becky's probably going to play the X this turn and hold on to that Z. I'm trying to see if there's a compelling way to like set up the Z and guarantee a lot of damage out of this rack, but I don't think she's going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Big series of turns here. These intermediate turns could make or break the game for
Yeah.
you. I don't know. KAIM is, I think, the best option there.
Yeah, it seems pretty solid. And I assume Becky would also have EX, XI, and SI. And the bottom left is a pretty good way to um, keep neutralizing that part of the board. Obviously, the V in just a fantastic spot to minimize bingo potential. I mean,
Right.
that's honestly the best part of that play is putting that V in a space that just devastates the board.
Yeah.
But XI, it would just further make it harder to play.
Do you think Rob might play Eek and KI holding AIMNR? It's 19 points. It's a kind of a bingo or die play, but you've got several floaters available for 8s. You're creating a big line for 7s. And if she does make a KI back hook, you're bingoing on a triple word.
Yeah. If KAIM wasn't there, I think it would be a really interesting play, but KIM brings them to almost equal, really just down a tempo at that point.
Yeah, I
Down
think
11.
at this point you're not in bingo or die territory. You don't need the volatility. Just kind of pound out the spots on this
Yeah.
board.
Sidewinder notes Canik as another option, which is kind of cool.
Ooh, yeah, that's a nice little fit. KAINIT down to the E with 3 overlaps is 30 points. MR as a leave. Decent play. I still think Kame is better. Although 5 N's in the bag right now, you don't
I
want to
hate
double that
N's
up.
are the worst.
Yeah, so actually maybe you do want to play off an N here.
So Rob hooking or playing Akin, which do you know the back hook for Akin? Could come into play.
It takes a G in
Yeah,
Collins.
AKE is actually a verb. Means to ache.
King.
Yeah, a king.
A
No,
king.
no, it's actually a king. But
I could go for a king cake right now.
I think Kate got one. Maybe I don't know.
I know she gave me some last year, and it was like maybe the most delicious thing I've ever eaten. So
They're
if she
really good. Did you
goes
get the
back,
baby?
I did not get the
Oh,
booby.
okay.
I
So you
got
still
the
have all your
last
teeth.
piece.
All right. So does not open a big spot for Becky. She can't quite put the Z there at all, but Nyx now stays open. So
Yeah.
great.
I mean, Becky can't feel good now this board's wide open as she's made big sacrifices to try to get it closed. Rob able to turn over 4 tiles, try to find that S for the jab spot. Kind of looks like he's setting up a G. We know he didn't, but I think you just have to play Nyx.
Yeah,
And that's what
definitely.
she does.
Yeah, play Nyx. It saves ZOO, or I mean she's gonna score well next turn. Don't really need to be too worried about the Akin spot. It's jab that I'd be much more worried about that, because when are you gonna get rid of that? It's just not blockable.
Yeah, it's just going to sit there, and the first one to an S is probably going to win this
Yeah.
game. Rob's got to figure out. Oh man, Becky got another I
Oh, and a
and a
U.
U.
Ooh,
Oh man. Oh my god. Okay, at least there's
an
Uzo
Uzo.
holding three eyes, but that's a killer.
Not really a good spot.
This is a huge turn for Rob.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mourier down to the R in Rostrel turns over six tiles, and I think when you have the opportunity to blow up this rack and turn over six tiles, you need to do it. You need to go looking for that S right now.
Yeah.
It's such a big tile. Go looking for a G for a king as well,
Yeah.
or a king or whatever that is. I think you've got to play off as many tiles as you can on this turn. It's easy, I think, to find a play like MOOI to the right side of passives and just put it down for 20, but you got to turn over tiles, right?
It's definitely worth considering because it also gives a way to open up that left side again, which is kind of nice. In the case that Becky does have bad tiles, well, all of a sudden you have this nice little top left spot to do some stuff with. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mourier or Rumier play down to that R. I like both of those plays. He can play Mooner through the N in a Kin right now. That'll fork the board and open two huge spots, but that kind of feels aggressive to me.
Yeah, that's too aggressive. MOI is certainly not bad here though, because it also does reopen that the bottom left side in a way that doesn't force you to have an S or and an N, I suppose.
I don't know. I'm looking to draw like every chance I
Mm.
can get to draw that S or that blank.
It's
I'm going to
true.
turn
In
over
a
and
game
try to
like
get.
this, well, and also one of the Gs. I mean, there are a few tiles here that you really want to get to as fast as you can, and I think that's part of why turnover feels like a better play here than perhaps usual.
For
So it'll
those
be it'll be interesting regardless.
Those a little newer to Scrabble, tile turnover is the idea that you just play up a bunch of tiles and try to get different ones. Used to be very popular, I think, in the 90s and in the meta game of just turn over as many tiles as I can, because if I get both blanks, I'll definitely beat you.
Yeah,
And then people started to realize, well, actually, a lot of the tiles are really good, and a
yeah,
lot of the tiles left in the bag
right.
are really bad.
Yeah,
Every chance you try to turn over tiles, you can also get U's and O's and W's, as
yeah,
a bunch of I's like Becky's got. So the game kind of shifted the other way, and people really valued their leave, and they wanted to hold AERT as often as they could and stuff like that.
yeah. It
There's a time and a place for turnover.
yeah.
It's right here.
This does seem like a good as good a time as any. I mean,
Yeah, you need that S. That
yeah,
jab spot is never going away.
yeah,
And man, like the person who draws the final S is in a huge
yeah.
position of power.
Yeah, and admittedly, like, this is the kind of board that I would struggle with because I hate having these, like, hard to block, jabs, aching, whatever. I just hate it.
Like, another thing you could do is play Roomy down at the bottom, making RE and or ER and SO like opens a triple line, just throws this wide open. You can make
Yeah.
Becky's head explode.
Yeah,
She would not like that at all. The closed board she prefers, but that's just is a ridiculously aggressive play that there's no reason to make.
yeah. So I think Sidewinder actually, made a good point, obviously one of the top players across the pond. Scrabble is about combinations of tiles, not individual ones, so turnover hurts you generally, and that kind of checks out in the sense of we're saying, in this case, you're not trying to get you're specifically going for it one of a few individual tiles, and as such. So More coming down. I believe that takes a front hook, probably. That's a more.
No,
I'm
it's
kidding. It takes an
more.
S.
Oh, that's
I
crazy.
just wanted to troll you a little bit, but um, I mean, yeah, Rob is going all in on the crazy hooks. And to be fair, like with jab already there, it's not as crazy of a hook to open. So I see the perspective. Becky quickly trades 4, keeping an I and an O. And then Rob immediately draws an I and some O's.
You need to change six there. You need to go fishing for this S that now
Yeah,
has two huge spots, s'more and jabs.
because there's no one letter that's going to give her a spot with the Z with a kin, right? Like I could see if she was fishing for a 68 point Z play, but I don't see that one
Yeah,
either.
there's no like Zions or anything like
Yeah,
that. So I'm not sure what the rationale behind holding both the I and the O. There's only
yeah,
two I's. I can
right.
see holding
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one,
yeah,
but the O is curious to me.
yeah. Well, she picks up a pretty good pull all considered because weak and whiz is nice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a lot.
Can start to close the board somehow, I
Yeah,
guess.
make that aching spot go away at least, and then again, you're just vulnerable to an S after that. That's a really solid play for her. But you're stuck with that O. I just really don't understand why it was chosen to be held there. That's interesting.
Yeah, and maybe if she was going for some setup that we didn't see, I don't know. But there's no reason to keep two val. I mean, a ZI I can see,
What is
but
Rob gonna do? This is just another painful turn. I mean, this is what happens when you hold EIO. You're gonna draw three more vowels 100% of the time because that's
yeah,
how Scrabble works. But you play audio over here, make
audio.
another big S spot, or are you playing EUOI instead? Okay, ADO is the lead.
Audio, I like more, I think, but it sacrifices points. I don't know. Audio seems good to me. Yeah. And oh goodness, look at what that gives for Becky. We're gonna see the MZ set up again because I think Fritz just got open for
Fritz is
almost 80. Yeah.
77, man. It's easy to rush this turn and play ZO, but if you spot Fritz
Yeah.
for 77,
Zowie almost fits.
game over.
So I think it's safe to say, oh, she's got ZO spelled out immediately. Don't rush, Becky.
It's easy to spot Ritz and then the
Right,
Fritz just like,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's definitely spottable, but
Yeah.
it's so easy to get excited and just
Right.
pounce on those spots and tilt your opponent.
Yeah.
But Fritz would really tilt your opponent.
Yeah. And I would say both of these players trend more towards the, leave everything on the board.
Oh, she's rushed it.
She's
Oh
rushed it,
man.
yeah.
Oh man.
But you can still see the frustration from Rob. So it's not like, won't we'll still get some benefit out of it. But yeah, that was just a rushed play.
Man. And now Rob's got a big decision to make. He's facing a big deficit now. That
Yeah.
S still gives him some life, but do you think about forking the board with the DONNOT? Threw that in and akin. Does he know that word? Do you
Yeah,
score a lot of points
he
and play
usually
Zonda?
knows it. Goodness. Points are nice. I do not know yet.
Mm. Or you can do nat too, DONNAT. I don't know why you would do that, but two cool words
You
there.
might be like me and be 100% sure that that's a word. Forget if do not is a word.
It could be that, yeah. I mean, there's Zoot too. Just play off the OT, but ADNOT on this board, I'm not doing that.
Because yeah, there's just
You need the S to bingo.
right. Yeah, there's too many times you're gonna draw an okay rack that just doesn't do anything
You don't,
because there's
yeah.
no place to bingo.
You don't want to get stuck in one pointer jail.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not what you want here. Um Oh, and the worst part is you're still looking at 3 more T's and a couple more O's if you play Zonda. Points are nice. I mean, if nothing else, like, he's still got the, oust and toot spot there in on future turns if you need to get rid of some bad tiles, but, um, yeah, Rob is half the amount of time as Becky. Rob is pretty efficient at playing with, not much time on his clock, but still, with, 43 tiles unplayed. This kind of play you just don't want to take too long.
Oh, he's going
Yeah,
Donat,
so I
yeah.
think yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, he's forking the board.
yeah, perfectly reasonable play. Definitely not the play he wants to make.
Yeah, and then Becky's gonna have to choose one of these lines to take away and has to
Yeah,
leave the other one open. I mean, she can play VITE and leave just an abysmal leave, or she can play View and leave a triple triple open. Rob's draw here is huge. He's looking for an S or a blank. He's finally turned over the tiles. If he gets one, he's got some life. If not, his time's running out very quickly. I is not going to help. B, burrito? Oh, not quite.
almost burrito.
No, we would have lost it for burrito.
Yeah, burritos in the chat. Um, yeah, and I definitely agree with playing on the bottom. I mean, if Rob hits the triple triple, fine, but he's so much more likely to draw something big on the bottom. Like it's just I think she's made a good choice to play down there.
And especially JQXZ have all already been drawn by Becky, so you're not worried about a ZT or Zeit or
Right,
something like
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So I think this is a correct move for her.
Yeah.
And Rob's got to be sad. I forked the board, I took my shot, and it didn't pay off for me.
Yeah.
He can still play UNBITT
Yeah.
unbit if he just wants to play another awesome six. He's putting on a six display.
Yep.
Bedied, Denat, now
Yep.
maybe unbit.
Or he might just play butt.
He might just play butt.
Everyone can get on board with just butt, right?
Yeah, I've played a game at a bar a couple weeks ago, and my opening rack, like clearly the correct move was butt for 12, and then a lady came over and she's like, "Really? You played butt?" I'm like, "Okay, go away, random lady. It was my best move. You don't understand."
Yeah. Uh, Dungy notes that the triple triple of iron butt plays here for a lot.
Very good.
That means something in our worlds. G1 tub, just for laughs. Oh, tub and knob.
Okay, knock out your own s'more spot, but maybe hit some disgusting STY, I don't know, triple triple later on. Give us some content.
Tester. No, it still doesn't fit. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, this is a, I mean, what do you do if you're up? You have to play unbid. You have to score at least like 25 or 30 this
Yeah.
turn, or else you're just too far behind
Yeah,
that your bingo won't catch
I
up.
would play unbit
If
for
you know
sure.
unbid, you play unbid,
Yeah.
I think.
I would play unbit definitely because again, this isn't great, but jab is still there, and Becky still can't do anything about it. So like, fine. Like if she's got the play at any point, then you lose. Okay, whatever. But like, he can just leave it open for now, and there's something nice about not having to worry about that. So he does play butt.
Very good. He could play boot and pacifist thanks to Muffin with Tentacle. Take your shot,
Yeah.
roll the dice. That T actually, oh, there's three more, but that, maybe is your Hail Mary. You have to break glass in case of emergency if you're Rob.
Yeah. It's worth noting that probably would. Oh my goodness, here comes pacifist. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh man.
What is happening, man?
If you're down, you take this shot. If you're ahead, you have to play conservatively, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Passiver. Becky, you would know passiver is not a word. Oh no. Well, that's gonna certainly make things interesting as Rob insta challenges, because that is obviously not a word.
This would have been 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to pass up or scoring 50 points, but
With
dang,
with such a
you
bad
can't
rack,
lose
but
a turn.
yeah, with
You
your
can't lose
tiles
a turn in
that
this situation.
bad. Yeah. Oh, that is not good. Especially, I mean, the tiles suck, but like you could still play something at G1 at this point better for Becky. I mean, again, maybe there was the anxiety of like, what if it's good and I just want to
Yeah,
know now
you
and I
got to know,
feel,
yeah.
but you should know passiver is not good.
And now Rob's got to be sad. Like, dang, I wish I had opened the board a little bit more. If I was going to get a free turn,
Right.
like a play like
Yeah.
OB and NOB looks really good in hindsight, especially as he's drawn this ridiculous, awful rack that I despise.
Also knowing he also could have just played boot.
Right.
Now he's like, oh, so I could play boot last turn? Crud.
You can see him shaking his head. He's running
He's like,
low on
well,
time
yeah.
and just, man, not getting any easy decisions out of these racks.
Yeah. Now he's like, oh, I don't have much time, but I've just been given brand new life that I didn't know about, that I didn't think was going to happen. So like, now what?
Now, do you play for turnover now? Do you play niner and noose like
That's
22
the
point?
only thing I've seen that remotely interests me at this point. I mean, you need to get the ass of the blank. You now know Becky doesn't have them.
Right.
So I think I would just, I mean, there's 4 E's left. So I'm okay with the E's. There's an open R still for an ERS.
You play Rue and Zoo, maybe? I mean, you need to turn over tiles. You need to draw
Yeah.
the S. You can't just hold niner and hope that you're going to get a miracle thing that
Yeah.
plays. I don't think I like this because now jabs can go away. If
Yeah.
Becky plays a 6 from the in,
And now, yeah, and then
but I guess you know she's sitting on probably a lot of garbage. LOTT is what she showed you.
right.
So maybe you'd think she's just not going to be able to do that. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I
Rob's
want to
also low
allow
on
her.
time, so there's something to be said for just taking the standard, like, okay, cool. If I'm any bingos I'm gonna draw, I'm gonna find.
Yeah, Becky's in Becky's got to figure out what to do with this. I think she's looking at Toft and Oust, which is a good play.
Yeah.
I think maybe also just GIGLOT through that I for 9, but just turnover tile.
Yeah,
Like,
just
I don't know how many times I can say that S is so important. Go try to get it, everybody.
yeah,
But that's a way to do it. Toft scores points, but GGL, like I don't want that.
yeah.
Although I don't know, maybe you can draw into like niggle and block jabs and win the game after this. It's probably what's going to happen.
I don't know. We will see. I mean, there's a decent chance that Rob has to now play something with the parallel to the end because he can still score pretty well and keep a not a great lead, but a high volatility lead at least, I suppose. Toft is nice just to take up space. Is it an attempt to set up good scores with Nori? I mean, maybe if there were more power tiles remaining, there's just mostly 1-pointers left. So there's not, you can only set up so much. I'd rather just keep that huge S lane wide open. There's probably not even, I don't know, like, not everyone's even going to be 100% sure of s'more, I suppose. It's a verb, but.
Yeah, S'more's not NWL. I've lost turns on it probably 3 different times, just thinking they must have added it this update, right? And they never did. But apparently S'more is does it mean to make s'mores or?
No, it is nothing, not
Of
related
course.
at all.
Whoa.
Oh no, Becky, that's not a
Well,
word.
she picked it up. She
That's
picked
like
it
one of
up.
the most common phony forms is MOGG. Becky, what are you doing?
Hey, stream jitters are
I know,
real
no,
and
I
it's
know.
hard.
I'm trying to like give her the vibes to not do it. I want okay, thank goodness. I mean, now she just telegraphed the 2Gs, which is not exactly what I would want to do.
No, I mean
Um,
Rob has perfect knowledge of her
he
leave
now
now.
has
He
that
knows
you
all
have
3
the
of them.
GL. Yeah,
So he knows the S and the blank are still in the bag,
yeah,
and he's going to have to figure out what to do with that
yeah,
information. There's one good play for Rob here that I think is significantly better than his
yeah,
other options. I think that's Newey, Newie, through the I
yeah,
and passives. He's low on time. With that blank there, it's tough to spot, but that's a way to turn over 4 tiles
yeah,
to keep all of the parts of the board alive that you want to keep alive
yeah,
and just see where the game takes you.
yeah,
It's so easy, I think, to just drop EW or
yeah.
AW at the top, but you can't. But he does.
Yeah, I mean, the only benefit of it is just that it's hard to. It makes it harder to block jab. I mean, with that little time, it's nice to have something you can play right for. Mo, of course, takes the A as well, so like it sets up some additional fishes for Rob that can reopen the board. Perhaps I see your perspective for sure, but with him having no time, I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, I think the best merit of that
Oh,
play is it happened immediately.
yeah, and
This is what happens when you
right,
keep AEINR, though.
AEINR is just so bad.
I mean, unless you draw an S, you're not bingoing, but I
Yeah,
mean, I guess you have the stuff to try again. I don't
in
know.
in before cloggery,
Yeah, jeez. Cloggery.
cloggery. Yeah, I'm a big fan of clogger here. Clog up the board.
Yeah, you got to play Cogger or Clogger if you
Yeah,
think those are words. I mean, you
and
got to be a little rattled having lost a turn already, but like you've got
yeah,
it and go dig into that bag. You've
yeah,
got to find this S.
yeah.
Nobody has any urgency to get this S except you and me.
Right. And I mean, like clogger is probably, obviously a word. Cogger, maybe it's a little harder to be 100% sure of. The L is nice for Odal as some way to maybe block the jab hook at some point. But you play clogger, now you're at the point where Becky can almost just outrun Rob with like jabs. You know, she might even be able to just outrun it. So you may as well just play cogger or clogger. Obviously I like clogger because you may as well.
I mean, what else do you do this turn? Do
Yeah.
you play Foggy from the F? Like there's
Ugh.
nothing good. Do you just play Viewy and NY for 27?
No, but saving that is nice.
Saving that is awesome.
Yeah.
Play Clogger for
Yeah.
26, plunk your Y for 25 next turn,
Yeah.
and on a dead board, you've scored 50 points anyway, and you just win the game.
Yeah.
Here she comes, Clogger.
Don't play
Is
cloggery.
she
Don't
gonna
play
play
cloggery.
Clogger?
Don't play cloggery.
I'd pick up the last tile just to tilt Rob and
I
then
know,
set it
right?
back down.
Cloggery.
No, I'd pretend like it's an S. No.
Yeah.
All right, so Clogger comes down. She has gotten rid of the GGL that she showed Rob last turn.
Oh, Dungy notes, you could just play Logger. You could set up the Y for Loggery.
You could
or
do,
set up the C for something.
and then play like GYNIE
Yeah.
underneath next turn or something.
And now she can be known as the Clogger as opposed to the Blocker.
All right, Rob's gonna play ice. He's
Yeah.
gonna keep AEINR again, and he's not gonna draw
No,
an S.
hey, he
Oh,
can play a Cini.
he's gonna play ice.
Well, there's the
And
S.
there's the S. Hey, somebody finally drew the S. It's an awesome rack. If you
Yeah.
got the S, you're gonna pound out a bunch of points with this stuff.
Yeah.
GG.
Yeah,
I think you plunk the Y actually, and then bingo with whatever you draw.
Yeah.
How much time does Rob have now? Like 2 something? This is
yeah, 2.5 minutes.
He's gonna
Yeah,
play a
but he'll play a
Cini.
Cini. So he could still draw the blank. But at this point, I don't think he could even score enough anyway.
Oh man, there's only 4 vowels in the bag, and he played a Cini. He's done. Game's over. Whatever.
I mean, there's a good chance he will draw the blank. Like he may well draw a bingo here, but where's he gonna play it?
Geez, Becky can play Hypes and Tofts for 50.
Yeah.
Or she can play NY holding EHIPRS.
And Rob left the blank in the bag. Whoops.
Well, I mean, he drew less than half the tiles, and
Yeah.
more likely than not that he's gonna do it. But hey, he's probably gonna have one more chance. Becky's got to think now. 5 in the bag. I can't just play Hypes. If he bingos out, I lose.
Especially, I mean, I don't know what could be there, but I don't know, arm something like the Mazie spot. That is still technically a lane that could score over 100. I don't know if there's anything unseen there. I'm not good at going through bingos like that, iterating through them all, but
Oh yeah, MZ and something in front of oust,
this is almost feeling like a just don't empty the bag and you're fine.
or just play hypers and jabs and end the game.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is if there is a bingo on the left side, then she loses.
Oh right.
It's like, I don't know, do you just play HYP and HI, take out the crazy lane, and you keep EIRS, you have a decent shot of drawing a bingo yourself, and HYP should still outrun Rob pretty much always.
I think I want to leave 1 or 2 in the bag
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're confident, you can empty it, but the right thing to do is ensure there's no miracle with the MZ spot.
I do want to note here, RYPE is a word, but the plural, it is a German word. The plural is RYPER, not RYPES. So Becky, please don't play RYPES.
I think she would play praise before she plays that.
So it looks like she's thinking of playing on the left side, maybe? All these plays seem better for the left-hand side, which I personally would not want to play 5 tiles over there. Obviously, in this case, it'll be just fine if she does, but
I think she's looking at playing PY somewhere. I don't see where she can do that, though.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I would either I would drop the Y or play HYP for sure here. Don't give Rob time to think. It's not worth it. I don't know what the odds of I guess just dropping the Y, it doesn't give as many draws as I thought.
Any 11-letter words ending in butt that Rob can fish for.
That would be amazing.
Out headbutt.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Becky can do a bunch of things. I mean, this looks a lot more complicated to her because of that unseen blank. We know that Rob doesn't have it, and she can do most things and win this game. She looks like she's looking at yipes and jabs would be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't get hit with the bingo out, you win the game.
Yeah.
Is that what I want to float out there? Absolutely not. I mean, with the unseen pool, I'm not giving you an eye to synergize with. But she's gonna play it. She's gonna draw the blank. She's gonna win the game.
Yep. I'm not a fan of that play. Because I don't know if you know this word, but that is 1 letter over from giving Rob Tradill and out to win the game. So almost a game-losing play.
I mean, there's just so many options, like Aunt Lear and stuff can come down. I just definitely not the best play that she could have made in that situation, but she is going to get what she needs. Scrabble's a game where you take your 80 or 90% wins and try to turn them into 100% wins. And that's not what that play
Mhm.
was, but she was in a commanding position from strong plays earlier in the game, strong draws earlier in the game. And she's going to hang on and win this one.
Almost pulled out an MZ bingo there. Ramnus doesn't quite fit, but pretty close. Not that noosed is a word, but um,
And then Becky's got just all the stuff. She's got the M for MZ. She's actually got an out bingo right now, which is incredible. I'm not going to spoil this one, but that's,
oh,
I mean,
I haven't looked yet. I was gonna see if I could.
yeah, through the eyes she set up. She's got an out bingo. That's
Oh
incredible.
yeah. I know it. Yeah.
She-
I'm 100% sure of that one. That's the kind of thing I would expect her to know.
oh yeah, Becky would. Oh my goodness, if she hits it,
Well, Rob, if he's tracking closely, will probably block it because Rob knows the word for sure.
yeah. I mean,
Rob knows
even
most of the
he's also
words.
got to address MANEH next to Yipes for
Yeah,
57.
yeah,
He's got that spot's going to go away. But Manuhiri,
yep. I hear you.
Manuhiri, would be Becky's out bingo if it stays available. So we'll see what Rob. Oh, he's not blocking it. Oh my God! If Becky drops this, I am gonna run in the playing room and give her the biggest freaking high five.
Come on, Becky, let's see it.
A game with a lot of questionable decisions, for sure. A lot that can be learned. But if Becky drops this, I don't care about any of the previous turns. That's
Yeah,
just a baller play.
yeah. Would you found that? I'm kidding. I'm just trolling you. I would, yeah, I would slam that down so fast.
You think I know a ridiculous Collins only like deep eight? No, no. I don't study NWL words. I don't study Collins words. I don't.
I'm
No, I would
I'm trying
never.
to figure out why I know that word because I've never studied even close to that far in Collins. Probably not even in TWL.
Manuhiri,
I know
not even a
it's a
plural, takes an S. A
yeah. It's a,
non-Maori seen as a guest to a Marai. And a Marai is a meeting place. So
oh,
a non-Maori guest
hmm.
at your meeting place is a Manuhiri.
Well, you want a
Cool.
Manu Hiri or a Manu Ginobili? I don't know. I'm running out of things to say. The game's kind of it is what it
Yeah.
is.
This was a game.
I
It's
mean,
almost
look,
over.
I hope we have 18 more games that are this exciting. I expect MANEH if nothing else, but
Just you can do anything in this situation and win if you're
yeah,
Becky. It's gonna be a frustrating game for Rob to come back and look at afterwards.
yeah,
Just think about the draws, AEINR, like you think maybe you're putting yourself in good position, and what do you draw? IE,
right.
lots of tilt worthy draws for
Tilt,
him. But
tilt, tilt worthiness.
yeah, but also I think some plays that he can go back and maybe could have done differently.
Yeah, definitely an instructive game. I hope that both of these games so far, hope we're able to go back and maybe annotate them and have some discussion. I mean, I guess, as I said, I hope we have 8 more like this. Last time I did some live streaming in Seattle for the Collins Championship. I had one session. It was 4 blowouts, and it was just so painful.
I hate commentating
Oh,
on
yeah,
blowout games.
yeah,
It's so hard, and I'm like, I have to figure out things to say and entertain the folks at home. Like, everybody just turn this off. Let's mute for 30 minutes.
yeah,
Ben Schoenbrun has suggested we just put 2 setups, board 1A and 1B, and we just show whichever one's cooler.
yeah,
Maybe we try 1A, and if it is a drubbing, we just pivot over. That would take twice the machinery, but I think it's doable. We'll see if somebody ever actually wants to play with that.
yeah. I think it's more if someone has the time and money to donate some stuff. I don't know.
Speaking of Ben Schoenbrun, he's literally standing right next to me. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to plug these players on purpose, but everybody's here.
Yeah. Well, it looks like our final players entered the tournament as well. As it appears, Jason Baisberg must have had a canceled flight last night coming from Minneapolis. Looks like he missed the first couple rounds.
A lot of
which always
horrific
sucks.
travel stories today and yesterday and last night. Jackson Smiley had to drive from Montreal to Toronto to get here in
Oh,
time.
no.
It's like, that is nuts.
I
But
was in a situation, so I'm sure everyone heard about what happened at the Alaska Airlines flight in Portland. And then, I'm flying from Portland and I look at my flights and see that of my 4 flights, 'cause I have to stop on my way to get to New Orleans. My first flight's a 737 MAX 9, and I'm like, "I'm gonna call United right now and see if I can switch to another flight." The flight I switched to was well overbooked. I did get on it, and my original flight was canceled. And if I had a canceled flight, I don't know if I would have made it out here after all. So I feel it, and looks like at long last, NAH is going to come down. Rob almost certainly, if he tracked correctly, almost certainly saw Manuhiri.
yeah, we may hear that come out in the post-game banter. We'll
Yeah.
see. I think as it is right now, we can't hear the post-game banter, but y'all can. So now that this one's done, we'll okay, we'll cut to that mic and see what we're able to pick up from these players. See if
Yeah.
Rob spotted Manuhiri.
I do think that Becky was saving drum butt as her outplay. So let's listen into the players as Becky officially takes the win here in a second really interesting game. We're gonna go silent for a minute here. Not too much yet.
46 to 429.
Well, they agree on the score. I don't know if we do, but that's fine. They're probably right. Oh, Manhunter. How about that?
H, all that stuff is in the bag.
It didn't play. Just noting that it would be funny.
Don't know what I could have done other than hope to
What do you
God.
know about Manhunters?
I challenged passage because if it's not good, like it's worth for me, it was worth the 5 points because if it's not good, I have a really commanding. I can make a really commanding and yet closed board, except for the jab stuff, which you probably won't take. But then I have tempo.
Yeah, it's a long shot, but I thought it was a cute play.
Okay.
Just putting the T there. I didn't, it was 50-50.
That's just never came together.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, they certainly weren't good for this board. I mean, there weren't actually that many fingers that I could have had, or that I had, like even with the letters in it. Needed one more space for treadmill, which would have, I don't know what it would have done. If you had the same letters, it would have gotten really close. But you have been due against me for a while.
Do you hear Rob lamenting this one? I don't know what I could have done differently. He'll have some answers, I think, if he comes back and watches this or analyzes it. But yeah, Becky, great game. Does what she needs to do. You hear her say, I was 50-50 on pacifist, but I have to take the shot. And yeah, Becky brings a victory home for Team Texas, who I'm always going to rep until I move. And 1-1 for Becky, 1-1 for defending champion Rob Rubinsky. I'm trying to figure out who we're going to get on stream for our next matchup. It looks like several players have already started their game, so we may be a little limited in what options we have. This commentator has had too many cups of coffee and really needs a short break. So let's see.